Welcome. It is Erick Erickson here. Getting a text from a friend right as the show goes live. Talk like a champ today. I'm talking like a champ just for him. Good morning to you. It is 6 after the hour. The phone number, if you want to be a part of the program today, 877-97-ERIC, 877-973-7425. I want to begin with the My Pillow guy before anything else. You need to stick around today, though, because we need to do a deep dive into some of the Georgia politics behind what's going on with the governor and not shutting down the entire state. I'll do that later when we've got a couple of stations due to contract requirements that they can't pick us up immediately. So I want to make sure everybody's on board before we go down that rabbit trail. But I told you this was going to happen. Before we get directly into My Pillow, I told you this was going to happen. I told you that when the president's approval rating started going up, the media would start complaining about the press conferences. Here's Chris Hayes on MSNBC.
Entertaining, in part because he is combative, in part because he does lie, and you can catch him in those lies and hold him accountable, but that doesn't make for an effective public health response.
Yeah, that's why he's bragging about the ratings. It's obviously above my pay grade. I don't make the call that we take them or not, but it seems crazy to me that everyone's still taking them when you got the My Pillow guy getting up there talking about reading the Bible.
That's what offended them, by the way. He got up there and quoted scripture. They're upset about My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell, quoting scripture. If you know his story, maybe, well, no, they would still be upset about it. We'll get there. Bear with me. Here's Don Lemon.
I have said I don't think that you should really listen to what he says. You should listen to what the experts say. I'm not actually sure, if you want to be honest, that we should carry that live. I think we should run snippets. I think we should do it afterwards and get the pertinent points to the American people, because he's never, ever going to tell you the truth. And guess what he's going to do? If you ask a question that is a legitimate question, and if he doesn't like the question, he is going to say, whether you're being mean or not, or whatever he wants to call it, he's going to say, that is a mean, nasty question. Why? Because he wants his base to think that the media is being mean to him and they're attacking him. It is all a plot. It is all orchestrated. And if you can't see it, I don't know what you're looking at. So, you know, it's obvious. It's transparent to me. This has become, those press briefings have become his new apprentice. They've become his new rallies. And he treats the press and the media as if he's talking to the people in his rallies.
Have you ever heard the President of the United States speak? He speaks about the same way to everyone. The president is always rallying. The President of the United States will call me at home. He hasn't actually called me. Maybe I should not present tense. He's called me several times at home in the past year. And more often than not, if I answer the phone, and it's not his assistant, who was Madeline, and he's got a new assistant now. If he calls me from a cell phone, typically what happens is he says, "It's your favorite president." It's actually very endearing. He's a very, very likable person, one-on-one. He really is. You know, I've been up to Trump Tower before and spent a lot of time with him in his office, interviewing him. He had a book come out. I was working for a company that had published the book. They wanted me to go do an interview with him, live streamed on the internet. This has been several years ago. He was a very, very nice person. And he's always like that. I mean, the Donald Trump, and you know, this is, by the way, this is the big difference between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, is that the Donald Trump of 2020 is the Donald Trump of 2016 is the Donald Trump of 2011. The Joe Biden of today is not the Joe Biden of 4 years ago. There clearly is a mental slowdown with Joe Biden as he's aged in a way there isn't with Donald Trump. And you can like him or not like him, you can hate him or not, but I think objectively it's true. I mean, the Joe Biden interview on MSNBC was painful. I didn't even ask Charlie to get it for me because Charlie would have had a complete meltdown had he had to listen to it. But I found the RNC circulating the clip, so I just bookmarked it on Twitter to play for you. Listen to this. This is Joe Biden. This is Joe Biden on MSNBC giving an interview.
And in order to avoid those very high numbers, we have to do at least several things. One, we have to depend on what the president's going to do right now. And first of all, he has to tell wait till the cases before anything happens. Look, the whole idea is he's got to get in place things that were shortages of.
That were shortages. He's looking at his notes the whole time, but you can't see this on radio, but he's staring down at a piece of paper, and he'll pop up and he'll talk, and then he'll look back down at his paper. I don't know why I like Joe, but I mean, I feel like his campaign is elder abuse at this point. In any event, the media, I told you, the moment the president's polling went up, there would be a complete meltdown of the White House press corps over the idea of covering this, and not just the White House press corps, the media in general. And it turns out that that Jeff Zucker from CNN has dictated that they will continue to cover the press briefings, and people at CNN are whispering to liberal reporters at the Daily Beast and elsewhere, I just can't believe Jeff Zucker's doing this. This is a ratings ploy. Hello, this was the network that did the nonstop, wall-to-wall, multi-week coverage of the missing Malaysian 777 that allowed Don Lemon to speculate that a black hole had swallowed up a Malaysian airliner. This is the network that went wall-to-wall with the anti-gun programming after the Parkland shooting and made an editorial decision to be hostile to anyone who supported the Second Amendment. By the way, the president's job approval, the polling average is still 47.3 to 49.7. It's a negative 2.4 spread, but increasingly polling is coming out showing the president with a huge job approval rating. From ABC News, he's up 2. From The Hill, he's tied. From Gallup, he is up 4. From Emerson College, which actually isn't a very good poll, he's up 1. Monmouth has a better poll. He's tied there. Now, this isn't everything. The Morning Consult poll and Reuters have him down 7. And Harvard-Harris, which isn't a very good poll, has him down 4. It's more of an online poll. But the polls that are actually calling people, with the exception of the Fox poll, which has been kind of an outlier, his polling, it's actually done a very good job. It has closed the gap. This is the best he has done since his inauguration. And now the media is having a meltdown. Well, they're not just having a meltdown at him. They're having a meltdown about yesterday's press briefing. The president trotted out Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell, if you know anything about the guy, I do not have my pillow. He's not an advertiser on this program, but he's got a very impressive story. Mike Lindell is a born-again Christian who had a terrible life, drugs and just very self-destructive, rebuilt his life, rebuilt his family, built a multi-million-dollar company building the perfect pillow. And so I've got upstairs in my house where I'm broadcasting from, I have a pile of pillows that need to go to the discard pile. My wife and I go through pillows. As I've gotten older, I've become pickier about pillows. I want to sleep very well at night. I work very hard. I work nonstop. I want to sleep well. So I want a super comfortable mattress, and I want a great pillow. And it is one of the worst things about going to nice hotels these days is nicer hotels actually have the worst pillows. And I'm not sure why that is, with the exception of a couple, but I get a better night's sleep at a Hampton Inn than I do at a Ritz-Carlton, because the Hampton Inn actually has good pillows. They don't spend a lot of time getting the artisan plucked down goose pillow that goes flat as a sheet of paper at night. No, I want a pillow that I can sink my head into that supports my neck. And you get that from a Holiday Inn Express, and you get it from a Hampton Inn. You don't get it from a Ritz-Carlton. But as an aside, I don't understand some of these high-end hotels now that they have terrible air conditioning in their skyscraper buildings, and then they pile you under a hen and a goose on top of you with their comforter, so you sweat to death at night, and the air conditioner never gets cold enough to cool you down underneath it. I've actually I was staying at a very nice hotel in Atlanta, and I finally got fed up with the water pressure, the bad pillows, and sweating all night, even though it was a fancy hotel with a fantastic bourbon collection. And so now I stay at the Hyatt, which is still a nice hotel, but you don't sweat to death at night. They got a better air conditioner. The bathroom's not as nice, but I would much rather get a good night's sleep. I'm sure first world problems. I get it. Not that I can stay at a hotel right now, but nonetheless, my pillow, apparently a very comfortable pillow. And so the president invited Mike Lindell. That last week, you will recall, the president had the pharmaceutical manufacturers there. And the pharmaceutical manufacturers were talking about how they're stepping up and they're doing testing and they're making new tests. In fact, Abbott Labs now has a test that's out that'll be priced the same as a flu test. They're going to ramp up production to several million of them. You can get the test results in under an hour to find out if you're positive for COVID-19. They're spreading these out to the healthcare sector right now and then out into the public sector, the private sector, and beyond out to the public to be able to test at home. And the media was okay with all of that, but they resented like hell that Mike Lindell, and I didn't mean for that to rhyme, it just did, they resented that Mike Lindell was at the White House press conference yesterday because he has a small business that makes a pillow that is very successful and advertises on conservative media, and he's decided to shut down pillow production right now to make masks for first responders. He's converted his entire company, which, by the way, New Balance tennis shoes is doing the same thing. New Balance has suspended production of masks suspended production of shoes to make masks. They've got American manufacturing facilities, and they're making masks. You know who's not doing that? Nike. Nike, which has outsourced everything to communist China and has refused to ever take a line critical of communist China. Nike's not doing this, but the American manufacturers like New Balance, they're making masks for first responders, and so is this guy, Mike Lindell, a small businessman who cares about his country, but he had the audacity to bring up God at the White House yesterday.
Okay, well, MyPillow is a U.S. vertically integrated company which has been forced to adjust to the changing business environment as a result of the pandemic. MyPillow is uniquely positioned as a U.S. company that functions as a manufacturer, logistics management, distributor, and direct-to-consumer. Given our current business lines, we are experiencing the effects of this pandemic firsthand. What MyPillow has done, we've established an internal task force which is monitoring future needs of companies across the country as a result of this pandemic. And given our position, we've begun to research and develop new protocols to address the current and future needs of U.S. businesses across multiple sectors. How companies are going to prepare themselves when they once again open up and changes to their current operations in order to adjust to future threats and pandemics. MyPillow has designated some of its call center to help U.S. companies navigate the many issues that resulted from this pandemic. We've dedicated 75% of my manufacturing to produce cotton face masks. In 3 days, I was up to 10,000 a day. By Friday, I want to be up to 50,000 a day. I'm proud to manufacture our products in the United States, and I'm even more proud to be able to serve our nation in this great time of need. Thank you, Mr. President, for your call to action, which has empowered companies like MyPillow to help our nation win this invisible war. Now I wrote something off the cuff, if I can read this.
This is where it goes downhill for the media. By the way, they didn't like that first part either. This guy was clearly nervous talking to the crowd. Given his background, you can understand why. But this is what really got under the skin of these reporters.
God gave us grace on November 8, 2006. To change the course we were on. God had been taken out of our schools and lives. A nation had turned its back on God. And I encourage you to use this time at home to get back in the Word, read our Bibles, and spend time with our families. Our president gave us so much hope where just a few short months ago, we had the best economy, the lowest unemployment, and wages going up. It was amazing. With our great president, vice president, and this administration, and all the great people in this country praying daily, we will get through this and get back to a place that's strong.
Yeah, they really didn't like that. He dared to suggest that God saved us from Hillary Clinton. You know, if I were him, I'd be having a private security team. He and God both may need some protection. Oh, man. Wind up like Jeffrey Epstein coming after Hillary Clinton. Seriously, the media, they were livid. This guy suggested that God saved us from Hillary Clinton. Now, you know, if a minister came forward and said that God gave us Barack Obama, which scripturally is true, I mean, God picks our leaders according to, if you're a Christian, you believe that ultimately it's by God's design that these things happen. God is sovereign. He's on the throne. He directs the course of man. And but they absolutely melted down that he said that. They didn't like the fact that he was up there. But, it's one thing for liberals like Don Lemon or Chris Hayes to take these positions. It's one thing for them to be taking these positions. But what I find really interesting is the executive editor of CNN, an Atlanta-based news network, also was dripping with disdain for this guy. Now, you can say that's expected, but I want to spend just a moment on the implications of that when we come back.
News and in-depth analysis from Erick Erickson, live 5 days a week.